Man, that was a long day at Boston. I can't wait to just get in my house, use my pool, get some teleports out here, and go do. What? Ha- yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to make a video on this. Hey guys, Surgeon here, and welcome to a new video. This video, we're going to be trying to fix my house and get it back into kind of a layout that works for me. And, well, I'm going to walk you guys through my thought process on what I do to make sure that I get into a layout that makes it so I minimize the amount of time I'm spending in my house. And hopefully you guys can adapt some of this into setting up your own houses so that way you don't have to, well, spend a lot of time running around your house trying to find exactly where you need to go. So, let's jump into this. So unfortunately, there's no like one end all be all efficient setup for your house. It's really going to be dependent on what you need in your house and what you actually value in your house. So here's a list of 4 things that we're going to be doing in order, and I'll be going over each point in this on how you need to be evaluating what's important in your house, and that's ultimately going to affect the setup of your house, where everything is located, how things are rotated, and which rooms are where. So the first step on the list is to list out what rooms you're going to be using the most. And this is obviously going to be different for every person. So for me, I went through and thought about, okay, what rooms do I actually use in my house? And I came up with, I use my achievement hall or my achievement gallery. I use my superior garden, my portal room, and my workshop. There's really no other room in my house that I use on a regular basis. So list is obviously going to vary for you guys, but once you get this down on paper, or at least in your mind, and you realize what rooms you're actually using, this is going to help set up your house and make it so you know exactly what rooms need to go where. But the first thing is you need to identify what you actually use. So once you've wrapped your head around what's important to you, now figure out how important it is to you. So that list that you just figured out, that list that you just put together of what all you use in your house, now go ahead and prioritize it. So what do you use most frequently to least frequently? Obviously numbering it 1 to X, where X is the last number on your list. So I thought about it and was like, well, I use the pool from my superior garden the most. Anytime I go to my house, I pretty much always use it. Then I usually use my achievement gallery because I'm constantly changing spell books, or I'm having to use the ornate jewelry box because it's just so handy to have it there. Then my portal room above anything else, and then my workshop, since I use my workshop infrequently, but I still use it on a regular basis, and that's the order that I went through and numbered all of them. So you figured out what's important to you, what you're going to use in your house, but now we're kind of left with, okay, cool. How do I set it up? Well, glad you asked. So we're going to move to a little clip of, well, this is me fixing my house after I walked in and was like, what in the world's going on? So thanks to an update recently, you're actually able to move rooms around without having to, well, basically deconstruct them and rebuild them. And the first thing you have to do is obviously change your house into building mode and then click on the house icon. Then there's this little tab that says house viewer, and it opens up this little like grid diagram of what all your rooms look like in your house. And if you hover over the room, it'll actually tell you exactly what room that is, so you can figure out which rooms you want to be moving where. Now, obviously, in order to make this house efficient, what you want to be doing is you want to be minimizing the amount of time it's going to take for you to run to the rooms you're going to use the most. In order to accomplish this, you need to be thinking about what you're going to be using about each of the rooms. Myself, the number one room I'm going to use is my superior garden, but like I said, I'm using it for the pool. So the way that I'm going to position my room, my garden, is that I'm going to put it as close to my portal as possible, but also I'm going to position it so that way it's the least amount of run distance from my portal. So you see I have it in the corner of the actual room to make it easier to get to. Then I put the next room on the importance list, which is the achievement gallery, and then the last 2 rooms doesn't really matter because they're on the opposite side of the portal. Now let's say that you didn't like how the rooms were set up, so you moved them into the position, but for whatever reason, like let's say you're using your superior garden and you wanted to move your pool around so it was easier to get to. If you go back to the house viewer, click on the room that you're basically trying to move around, you can actually rotate it and then just rotate it counterclockwise or clockwise until you get into the position that you want. As seen on the screen right now, I basically rotate my superior garden so the pool's on the opposite side of where I want it. Then I just select it, rotate it back, and then you see the pool is right where I want it to, so that way when I spawn into my house, I can simply run, restore my energy, my prayer, my HP, run to my jewelry box, and go wherever it is I need to go. So you got your top priority rooms next to where you want them to be, right? Well, now we need to, well, clean up our house, and there's a couple reasons why we want to do this. Well, for one, it just, well, cleans up your house, so don't really need to go into that. It reduces the load time of going into your house. It's very minimal, but obviously the less rooms you have in your house, the less the game actually has to load whenever you go into your house. And then my tip for this is that I'm going to show you in a minute, but basically all the rooms that you need to have in your house, like, you know, double bedrooms, kitchen, whatever, all the rooms that you actually need, just put them off in a row off to the side. The reason for that is that, well, you don't want them cluttering the rest of the important rooms, so you get them off to the side so they're there and it doesn't really matter. But I'll show you guys this in a minute. So as you see running through my house right now, I have the 4 rooms that I use the most centered right around my portal, so they're easier to get to. But then like the rooms that I need for achievements, so like obviously my pet room, both my bedrooms, my dining room for the bell pull, my achievement hall for one of the diaries, kitchen, they're all off to the side. And the reason for this is I need them in my house, but I don't really need them close to my portal, so I just move them off to the side so that way I don't have to run through them, I don't have to worry about them, and to be honest, unless you're throwing house parties, no one's going to even care if they're there or not. The move feature from the house options icon is really handy when you're trying to get these all in a row. So in summary, to kind of, you know, put a bow tie on all of this, figure out what rooms you're going to use, prioritize them in most used to least used, put the most used ones as close to your portal as possible, preferably to the north side of your portal, because that's where you're usually going to spawn into, or always spawn into. And then put the other 2 rooms on the opposite side of the portal, since it's a longer run time to get to those. And then finally remove excess clutter from your house and get the necessary rooms all in a line so you don't have to worry about them. And that's the basic summary of how to basically make your house efficient, or at least it's efficient for you, because at the end of the day there is no one way to do this. It's very dependent on what you're going to be doing and what you're doing at the time, and obviously that's going to change as you're doing different things in this game. Well, that's going to do it for this video, guys. My house is all set up now, we're all Gucci, and I'm good to use it for whatever I need to use it for now. So hopefully you guys can follow this guy and set up your house to make it more efficient for you guys. And with all that being said, if you did enjoy the video, go ahead and give it a like. If you want to see more content from the channel, go ahead and subscribe. And if you want to say something, go ahead and use the comment section for that. Links to all my social media will be down in the description. So my CC, my Twitch, my Discord, and my Twitter, all down there for you guys if you want to check those out. And I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Have a good night, morning, evening, whatever time of day it is. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.